Hello my friends, how is it going on? Today we will learn how to upload images to MySQL database using PHP programming language. First of all, I'll show you a quick demo of what we're gonna build today. So on the index page, as you see here, we have existing image with the name Chris Hemsworth. Now let's upload another image using this form. So let's put a name, any example name, and let's put the picture. So we have a picture here on the desktop with Chris Pratt, and click upload. So as you see here, we have a new image with a new name. Now if you add a file that is not allowed or that is not image, then it will not upload the image. So let's try that. Let's put a test name and let's try this text file. It has a .txt extension. Let's try this one. Okay, let's select it and click upload. So the file extension is not allowed, and if you go to the index page again, you will not see that new file here. That is what we are going to build today. Now without further ado, let's get start the coding. But before that, please subscribe to my channel if you are new to the channel so that you can get all the updates. I have created a new project here called image upload in the htdocs folder. Let's open this folder using the Visual Studio Code. You can use other code editor if you want. Let's create a new file here called create.php, and let's put HTML boilerplate code here using the shortcut, and let's change the title to upload images. Now let's put a HTML division with the class name container, and inside that container we can put the form, and here the method will be definitely post, as you'll send a post request, and also we'll have to add another attribute here called type. So whenever we will upload any file or images, you will have to use this attribute. The value will be multipart form data. Now here on the action, we will use upload.php. The file we have not created yet, but we will create soon. Now let's put the input field. So first one will be a text field, and the name will be full name, and let's put a placeholder, enter name. The second field will be a file type, so input type will be file, and here the name you can put image, and the third field will be the submit button. So input here the type will be submit, and in the value we can put upload, and in the name attribute we can put submit. Okay, now let's see how it looks in the browser. So we'll have to use localhost and then the name of the folder, image upload, and create.php. Actually it is not looking very good, so to look it more professional, we can use the Bootstrap framework. So let's get the Bootstrap CDN from the internet. We can get it from the bootstrapcdn.com. We need the CSS part, and we will use the HTML one. So let's put it inside the head tag, and also we'll use a little bit of manual styling. Let's create a new style file or CSS file here called style.css, and let's use it here on the head tag. Link CSS. Okay, now here we will use some predefined Bootstrap classes. So here we already have container, which is a bootstrap class, and here on the input field we will use form control and a margin top of 4. Let's copy this for the other field, and here on the button we'll have to use button primary, and also empty 4 for the margin top. We can also use some margin here, margin top 5, and the container, let's use a max width for the container, so we can use it on our style.css file. Max width of 400 pixel. Now let's have a look. Yeah, it is looking much better, but here the placeholder is not coming. Maybe we made a mistake. Placeholder, yeah, there was a spelling mistake, sorry about that. Now it should look good. Also we need a title here, so let's write upload images. Now if you check, alright, it's looking good. Alright, now whenever somebody click on the upload button, we'll have to save the image in the database. So let's create a database using the PHP MyAdmin. So go to the localhost and PHP MyAdmin. Here let's create a database. Let's name it upload image. Click create, and here we need a table, so we need 1, 2, and another one is for ID. So total 3 rows, 3 columns. Let's name the table images. Click create, and the first one will be the ID, and type will be integer. Auto increment and primary key. The second one will be name, and it will be Barker. Here the length you can put 128. It's not actually file name, it is the name of the person. And the next one is file name, and here the type will be Barker, and the length you can put 255. Let's click save. Alright, now the database and table is created. Now we'll have to create the file that we have put here, upload.php. So whenever somebody click on the upload button, this file will be triggered. So let's create this file. Upload.php. Now here we'll have to connect with the database first. So let's create actually another file for keeping the database information for the connection of the database, and let's name it connect.php. Let's start with the PHP tag, and here we'll have to declare some variables. First one is database host name, which is localhost in this case, and the second is the database username. So by default the username is root, RWT, and then database password, which is empty. By default there is no password for the root user, so we can put empty here. And then the database name itself, so the database name is the one that we just created. Let's check again. It is upload image. Okay, now we can use the MySQL connect function to connect with the database. And here the first argument will be database host. Second one will be database username. Third one will be database password, and the last one is database name itself. Alright, we can put this into a variable as we need the connection later when we will work with the database. So let's create a new variable called connection, and let's put this function, result of this function, in that variable. Now you can check whether or not the connection is successful. So if the connection is not successful, so if not operator, we'll have to use the not operator. If connection is not successful, then we'll display a message and we'll stop the code execution. To do that, you can use the die method, die function. So here you can say something went wrong. Alright, now let's check this file in our browser. So localhost, then image upload, connect.php. So we don't see any error message. That means the connection is successful. We can try changing something here, and you should see a error. Yes, so you can see a error here because the database name is not correct. Let's correct it. Now the error message should be gone. Yes, so the database connection is successful. Now we'll have to include this file in our upload.php file. So let's start PHP tag again, and let's include using the include once function, connect.php. Okay, now we'll have to check whether or not this button is submitted. To do that, we can use if statement, where we can use post global array variable, and here on the create.php file we put the submit as a name attribute in the button. So here on the array key you can put submit. If the form is submitted correctly, we can grab the value using the post array variable again. So first one will be full name equals to post full name will be here because we use full name here on the name attribute for the person. Then we can grab the file name. For this we cannot use the post because it is a file. We will have to use another global array variable called files, and here the first array key will be, it's a multi-dimensional array. The first array key will be image because we have put the image here on the name attribute for the file, and the second array key will be name. Now we can test if we got the data correctly. So let's display them using the echo statement, echo full name, then let's use a space and then echo file name. Let's have a look. Put Chris and let's choose a file, click upload. Alright, so we got the name Chris and we got the file name Chris Pratt. Okay, now we'll have to get the extension of this file name so that we can decide whether or not that file type is allowed. To do that, we can use a function called path_info, where the first argument will be the file name, this one, and the second argument will be a extension, which is path_info extension, and let's put it into a variable extension. Alright, now we can store some allowed types in an array variable called allowed types equals to array. So we'll allow jpg, then jpeg, then png, then gif. So we'll allow only these file types. Now we'll have to first check whether this extension, the extension that user uploaded, is matches with this allowed types or allowed extension. For checking that, we can use the if statement, and here it will be another function called inArray. Here the first argument will be the extension, and then the allowed types. Alright, if the extension matches with these extensions, then we will upload the files. We can upload the file using a function called move uploaded file. Here the first argument will be temporary name. So when we upload a file, it has a temporary name which is stored somewhere on the device, and then we'll have to use the target path where the file will be uploaded. So currently we don't have this data, so we can get the data here. To get the temporary name, we can use the files global array variable again. So let's copy this, and here instead of file name it will be temporary name, and here instead of name it will be tmp name. Okay, so we got the temporary name, and then we'll have to use the target path. So the target path is we'll have to actually create a new folder here on the root folder. So let's create a new folder here called uploads, where we'll upload the files. So here the target path will be target path equals to uploads, the folder that we just created, and then the file name. We can just copy this variable here. Alright, now we can use these two variables here. Target path now we'll have to check if the files is uploaded correctly. To do that, we can use the if statement here. So we can keep this function into a if statement. So if the function work correctly, then we'll save the file name in the database. Otherwise, we can show the users a message using saying file is not uploaded. Now here, if the file is uploaded successfully, we'll have to save the file name in our database. To do that, we will have to use the insert SQL query. So let's store the query here on a variable, and the query will be insert into, so the table name is let's check again what was the table name. Table name is images. So images, and then the column name. So first one was, so we'll not have to put id, as it will be incremented automatically. So we'll have to first put name and then file name. So name, file name, then values. First one is the name, full name. So we can copy from here, and the second one is file name. As these are string, we can put them inside the quotation. Now we'll have to run this query using the MySQL query function. MySQL query. So it will be the argument will be this variable. If this function is executed successfully, then we can say that echo your image is inserted, otherwise echo something is wrong. Okay, we can also put a else statement for this if statement. So if the allowed types matches with the uploaded type, then this code will be executed. Otherwise, you can say to the users, your files are not allowed. Okay, now let's have a look. Let's try it in our browser. So let's upload a new image using the form. Okay, there is an error. It says MySQL query expects at least 2 arguments. So actually we forgot to put the first argument here on the MySQL query function, which will be this variable connection. So let's use this variable here on the function MySQL query. Now it should work fine. Yeah, your image is inserted. Now if you check the database, you should have a new data here, actor, and the file name is spread.jpg. Let's also check the uploads folder. So in our projects folder, in the uploads folder, there should be a new image. Yes, it is here. You can also check it on our VS Code. The new image is here. Now we'll have to display all the images with the person's name in a new page. So let's create a new file in our root folder. Let's name it index.php. So here let's put the HTML5 boilerplate code, and let's change the title to images, and inside the body let's put a container division. And to also let's grab the CSS links from our create.php file. So these are the lines of CSS lines that we need. Let's copy it and let's put it in the head tag of our index.php file. Now we need the database connection, so we can include this file here. So let's start the PHP tag, and the function is include once connect.php. Now we'll have to run a query to grab the results. So the query is, let's put it into a variable, select all star means all, select all from the table name. The table name is images, I think. Let's double check. Yes, images. Now we'll have to run this query. So let's put into another variable called result equals to MySQL query. Here the first argument will be the connection variable, which is we declared here, connection. So here the first argument will be connection, and then the query itself. So let's put this variable as a second argument. Now we'll have to first check whether or not whether there is any image or not. To do that, we can use if statement. Inside if statement, we can use a property of this variable, which is called number of rows. So result num rows is greater than 0. If there is any image or any result, then we will run a while loop while MySQL fetch array, and inside this function we'll put the result variable. So as long as it gets the data or result, it will run the while loop. Let's put it also in a variable called row so that we can use later. Now we need two results or two columns. First one is name row in the array key. As you know, the first column is name here, so it will be name, and then the file name equals to row. The column name for the file is, let's check again here, it is file name. So let's put file name here. Now let's display this name and file name using the echo statement for testing purpose. Echo name, let's put a space, and then echo file name. Alright, let's check it in the browser. So localhost image upload. So as it is index.php, we don't need to put it here on the URL. So we have the name of the person and the name of the file, but we cannot show it like this. We'll have to display it as an image. So let's do that. As you know, we have the image on our uploads folder, so we can show it using the img tag. First, let's remove this echo statements and let's store the image URL into a variable. So uploads folders, and then let's concatenate the file name. Now we can display it using the img tag of HTML. Source, let's have a look now. Yes, we see the image, but it's too big, so we'll have to apply a little bit of styling. So let's do that. Let's also display the name of the person. You can put inside h3. Let's copy the variable name. Okay, now we can put these two elements into a parent element. So let's use that division with a class name profile. Let's close it. Let's use a margin top here, margin top 4. We can also use some margin top on our container class, margin top 5. Now here we will have to show the image and name side by side. To do that, you can use the display flags in our style.css file for the profile element. Display flags, align item center, and also let's put a border here. Border 1 pixel, solid RGBA 000.1, and let's use some padding 15 pixel, And now let's also put some styling for the image. Profile IMG, white 100 pixel, height 80 pixel, object fit cover, border radius 50%. Alright, let's put a gap here, gap 30 pixel. Now let's see how it looks so far. Alright, for some reason we cannot see the styling. Maybe it is cache. Yes. Instead of 80 pixels on the height, we can use 100 pixels. I think it will look better. Yes. Now let's add a new button. Add new button on top. Let's put a button here. href will be create.php, and here let's put it new, and we can use some bootstrap class here. Button info, and let's use some margin top, margin bottom 4. Now let's have a look. Yeah, we have that new button. Let's click add new, and let's add another image here. Let's put the name Chris Hemsworth, and let's choose the file or image from our desktop and click upload. Your image is inserted. Now if you check the database, we should see a new image with the name here. And if you check the uploads folder, here is the project folder, and in the uploads folder we see a new image, Chris Hemsworth. Now instead of showing your image is inserted, we can redirect them to the index.php file. So let's go to the upload.php, and here instead of your image is inserted, we can use header location. Index.php. Now let's go to the create.php again. Let's put the name Akhtar, and then let's choose the file. Click upload. Alright, we have redirected to the index.php file, and also there is a new image with the name Akhtar here. That means everything is working correctly. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'll try my best to help. And also please don't forget to subscribe so that you can get all the updates. Thank you so much.